Yo guys, what is up? My name is Jeracraft and I welcome you to the mighty kingdoms of Greymane. As you guys may already know, this has been an ongoing project for well over 5 years and marks the very beginning of my YouTube channel. Now, although the project may look near completion, there is still more to do than you can imagine. With floating houses, outdated builds and incomplete areas of the map, we still have a long adventurous journey to take. So guys, sit back, relax and enjoy as we venture into yet again another epic Kingdoms of Greymane transformation. Right guys, now to kickstart today's transformation, I thought we'd pay a visit to the outer reaches of the city. Here lies the main entrance and pretty much where it all began. The idea was to build a massive sea gate, which supposedly would allow ships to enter the canal and gain access into the kingdom. I feel like it's incredibly outdated, so we're going to be transforming the entire outer city, updating the build with the new techniques and skills we've learned over the past couple of months. In reality, this build is over 5 years old, and you guys can just see how much of an improvement you can make with just a little bit of practice. Right guys, so now we move over to the shoreline where we have a small fishing village that needs some serious updating. I mean, the choice of colors is just absolutely terrible, and this was actually built before we even had stained glass. I'm gonna start with a completely fresh template, getting rid of practically everything except for the town hall, which I think looks relatively decent and just needs a slight bit of updating. Now this village will expand across the shore, and building several docks will allow ships to trade and transport goods in and out of the city. Now, just like most seaside villages, we definitely need a lighthouse, and conveniently enough there's an island just off the shore that will work just perfectly. This entire building project revolves around this medieval fantasy kind of style, so we need to make sure this lighthouse has a large signal fire that will obviously direct ships towards the city. And of course, a small dock will allow the lighthouse keeper access to and from the island. Right guys, now we have made a significant amount of progress and this place is starting to look a whole lot more interesting, but I'm sure you guys can tell there's something missing. Thankfully, we've already built some custom ships in the past. All we need to do is make sure we update them to at least make them look a slight bit more appealing. Right guys, now I just cannot wait to show you what we're going to be transforming next, but before we get into that, we find ourselves on the other side of the sea gate, as this back wall has never been fixed since the day I built it over 5 years ago, so it's finally good to see everything slowly come together. Now there is only one issue I'm not too sure how to deal with, so I'm gonna let you guys decide by dishing out some ideas in the comments below. I just need to decide what to build alongside the river leading towards the main city. The only thing I can think of is really just build a selection of various houses, buildings and towers, possibly a market style town, so eventually just filling up all of the empty space available. Right then, so this is where things get a slight bit more creepy. It is time to take on a new adventure. Now with the outer city complete, some of you guys may have noticed this massive open cave and may just wonder where it actually leads down to. Well, this idea has been on the back of my mind for quite some time. This cave is supposed to lead down to what I like to call the Undercity, which lies just beneath the kingdom. Now this tunnel eventually will open up into a massive cave, a project I never really got around to. With a bit of inspiration from the Undercity in World of Warcraft, I lit up the cave with lava and stacked green layers of glass to create the same green toxic sewage found inside the city. The idea was to create a place where pretty much all the sewage from the city above is practically dumped. Now the good news is that we are building underground, so we can always expand on this even further. So if you guys have any ideas whatsoever, feel free to leave a comment below, because I do take your ideas quite seriously. I think this is pretty much a place where you would find stuff like the undead, as well as pirates and possibly even a black market. At least that was the whole idea. Right guys, now I know this has turned out to be a relatively short video, but just check out how much progress we've made already. This has taken me hundreds of hours to put together, and this world will only be exclusively available on my USB drive at www.jeracraft.net, and in the future I hope to be updating the city as well as transforming some secret locations found deep within the mountain. So guys, stay tuned for that, subscribe, like this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. This is Jeracraft, over and out.